listening to the LOZ Podcast Network.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the LOZ Podcast Network. You might be watching us in the LOZ app, or you might be listening to us on KRMS radio on Saturdays from 10 to 11 a.m. We simulcast every week, and we have these segments, and we talk to people around the lake who do all kinds of things. And I'm really excited today because we have Sandy Wardenburg Waggett, and she is the founder of MSW Interactive. And I got to tell you, you are as far down the AI rabbit hole as I am, aren't you not?
Oh, I am. And with the big Cheshire grin on my face about it too, because I love it.
I know. I think people get sick of me talking about it, and I'm so excited about AI, and I just get giddy about the new things that are coming out. And by the way, they come out every day. It's not like I have to wait a month for something new, right? Yeah. Ken,
I don't know if you do this, but I actually have an agent that comes into my inbox and reports every single morning the things that I need to know that have changed overnight in AI. People ask me how I stay on top of it. That's how I stay on top of it.
Yeah, and I'm doing the same things. I'm following a daily podcast where guys are talking about stuff. I can't get enough of it. I just think, you know what? You have to embrace this stuff. This is not coming. This is not something that's going to happen in 2029. This is here, and it's here in a big way, isn't it?
It really is. And if you think about it, ChatGPT came out to the public in 2022, at the end of 2022. So here we are in 2026. If you have not embraced AI yet, you're not 3 years, 4 years behind. You're more like 20 years behind, in all honesty.
And I think people who aren't embracing it yet are kind of putting up the front that, well, this is never going to take over. It's always going to be just in the background. It's not something that is real, but it is real. And it's happening not just in big, huge corporations. It's happening even in smaller scale on companies that are, mom and pop companies, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at my own company. I have a team of 9. I had a team of 13 back in 2022. Didn't let anybody go, just natural attrition. I did not replace them. And our revenue, overall sales since then is up over 40% with less staff. And that's AI. That's what it is.
And that's what's happening. I think companies are. I heard a guy who has got a big travel company was talking the other day on one of the news channels, and he said, I've got AI agents that are travel agents that can work 24 hours a day. They don't take vacation. They don't have kids. They don't do anything but work. And they do a better job because they're more responsive to my clients, because some of my clients want to talk to somebody at 2 a.m. Some of them want to figure out a trip, in an hour. And they just do a better job of getting the information back to where we need it. And he said, those cost me about $84 a day. And he goes, I can tell you a real person costs a lot more than $84 a day. So it's not something that they want to do to let people go, but the replacement factor here is going to be huge in some of these industries, isn't it?
Yeah, there is no doubt about it. And, one of the things that we've leaned into to that point is creating digital minds for founders and thought leaders, taking their body of work, whether that's if they're an author or a public figure or something, and a founder is a thought leader too. Think of the SOPs in your business, and you can take that and fully train an AI on that to perform as you 24/7. So reproduce yourself infinitely. People always say, if I only could clone myself, but you literally can. And
yeah. Well, and you know what? That's the part that scares people when you start talking about clones.
I know it does, but it's true. It's here, and it's not going anywhere. So,
and I think there's some definite things that are happening on just the fact that you are going to be in very short time. And I know that as soon as as soon as the phone companies, as soon as Apple and those guys get on board with the AI agents that we know are coming, I mean, pretty soon you're going to be able to have your own assistant full time, just right on your phone. And, you and I are doing it right now on our computers, and we're doing it with LLMs, and we're doing it through there. But someone's going to make it really, really easy for you to have your personal assistant. And that's going to be a game changer for everybody.
It absolutely will. I mean, you can already leverage a lot of AI on your phone when you're using the Notes app combined with the Shortcuts app and the scheduling app. So you can kludge it together, but in an iteration or two with the iOS, you're not going to have to kludge it together anymore. It's just going to happen.
And I'm excited because I'm an app developer, so I get to see that stuff about 6 months before everybody else. So I'm like waiting for the download to hit. But I think for the people at the lake, and let's bring it back to the lake a little bit. But for people at Lake of the Ozarks, they're going to see how AI affects them in a lot of different ways. Obviously, with all of the things that are going on with booking VRBOs, and I was talking to Pam at Lake Days, and she's utilizing AI and what she's doing as far as how do we become more efficient for people to book the place they love or how they love it, or I have a pet and are there places I can do, and you can pretty much just tell this system now what you want to do, and it goes out and finds it for you. So I mean, there's a lot of things happening at the lake that I think are going to take advantage of AI, don't you?
Absolutely. Yeah, I have a meeting with a client Wednesday where we're going to integrate AI voice agent and booking agent right into their rental company, their watercraft rental company. And they don't have to have somebody answer the phone and schedule the reservations anymore. And the technology exists and it's great. So
yeah, I've played with 11 Labs a little bit. I don't know if that's one that you're familiar with. The voice agent stuff in 11 Labs is so seamless, and it's amazing. And so I really hope people embrace what's going on with it, and I hope they get into it enough to at least allow it in their lives, because I think if you try to put up a brick wall on AI right now because of some of the there's a lot of chatter out there. I mean, people love to talk about, well, we're using so much water because we have all these data centers because of AI. Well, that's not really the truth. It's becoming more and more and more efficient. I think I saw a stat the other day that said what took 1 gigabyte worth of power and data a year ago is now been reduced by a factor of 10. And if it reduces by a factor of 10 every year, it's just going to become more and more efficient, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, there's no doubt. And it's good that you brought that up, because I mean, I know that there is a group of people out there talking about things like that, but as it evolves, and it is evolving rapidly, the costs go down and the efficiencies go up. And that's just how it is. I'm a human, touchy-feely, love people. But you can't resist AI. It just pushing back just costs your business money. So I love the fact that you're deep into it, just like I am. And, I'm here to educate businesses just like you on the power of it and not to be afraid of it.
And even people that aren't in a business necessarily, I think, one of the things that I'm encouraged by is, Gemini, I think, is going to become free. I mean, like the pro version, I think is going to become free here pretty soon. They're going to go down the road of advertising support, just like any internet. If you're Google, I mean, that's just coming. But the fact that you're going to have these tools for free to be able to utilize in what's going on. And I think that's missed a lot. Social media has exploded, obviously, in the time that you and I have been in the business from, 10 years ago till now. The one thing I think that's missing for most people is you used to have to pay for everything you did in advertising. You used to have to pay for every message, whether it ran on a radio station or TV station or in a newspaper. Now you have these social media outlets where you can put a message out there for free, but you still have to have good content. And that does cost money. And that is something where you really want to make sure you're doing it right.
Yeah. And, it does cost money. However, I believe, and I'm in the business, we do social media for businesses too, but if you are intelligent, this is where the brain comes in, and you know how to prompt the AI, you can come up with incredible content and content ideas so rapidly to create content ideas for an entire year, honestly. And they can't tell that it's not you, not your company, not your company's voice, as long as it's trained well. And you can do that with the free versions now. And to your point, I believe they're all going to lean toward free because they're all leaning into the ads. And not that I love the ads, right? But they are. So GPT is hiring people away from Facebook Meta ads. to build ads into ChatGPT. So when they have the ad revenue coming in, they don't need to charge the fees for the advanced models. So.
Well, and, I think there's another flip side to the ad side is that, more people now are using ChatGPT in a faster way than ever used Google when it came out. So people are going to chat for recommendations. They're going to chat for, how do I do this or where do I go? It's only natural that you want to be represented there and you want to come up when people are saying that. So I think advertising in some ways can be beneficial. You just have to know how to do it. And it's something that, it's going to be real important.
That's been a fundamental shift in our business for our clients, because everybody used to go to Google. A lot of people still do, but that shift has happened. It's not happening. It has happened, and the gap is even widening. The last stat I saw was search traffic is generally down roughly 30% from the Google Blue links, and now the results are coming from the LLMs, and the traffic isn't actually going to the website.
Well, we love talking to you. Love talking to you about AI and marketing, and we'll have you on in some shows coming up here as well. But I'm so happy that you're able to join us today on the LOZ Podcast Network and talking about AI. One of my favorite subjects. I know you're deep down there, and so if anybody has any questions, call Sandy. She's always available. She's at the lake. She travels a lot, but she'll still find time for you. And we'll have you back on soon. Thanks so much for joining us today on the LOZ Podcast Network.
Love it, Ken. Thanks for having me.
And everybody, we will be right back after these messages.